this time of COVID-19 has caused us all to stop dead in our tracks in ways and reevaluate where we've been going. But it's also a time to create and recreate the way we want to be, but particularly with our young. It has been a wonderful experience for some families to actually have to work from home, to connect with their children, to get, particularly for maybe people who would have traveled a lot, to get to know their children, and to that notion of work-life balance has more or less been turned on its head to work-life integration. And it's been, in Ireland, we had a recession in 2008, and work seemed to eat into people's time more and more. They were spending less and less time with their children, which does cause a lot of problems. But the notion of having closure in your workday and tending to the other pillars of your life, like family life, like your community work and your networking with people, and like having time for yourself, that was all beginning to be lost. So I would hope that the changes that happen now, that pivot will last, and that people won't, and that people won't lapse into their old ways once the inevitable recession hits post-COVID. What do you envisage post-COVID in terms of worldwide recession possibilities?
Well, COVID taught us anything. It taught us that we have to care for others. Mm-hmm. The connectivity you're talking about, that was a must. When we have by default, we must have a physical distance, but it doesn't mean we must disconnect from others. We must, and I advise that, and I actually wrote a few articles on Forbes.com for leaders to connect and for leaders to care and for us to keep the distance. Yes, because of medical reasons or because of as recommended, but it doesn't mean we have to keep ourselves disconnected. If you're a parent and you missed an opportunity to connect with your children, and if you're a child and you miss an opportunity to connect with your parent, you're really at a loss. Because to connect and to have this connections between you and family matters, to connect with family and be able to move from that one forward to society and neighbors and even to the organization employment, then you missed a lot of opportunities. So COVID taught us to care, to be for one another, and the we in us matters. You can just talk about the I and what I should do, I myself. Now, what I envision COVID after what's happening, and it's going to take probably another year or so, and we are in March 2021 now, so it's going to take us another year to recover, hopefully, as the people become more aware of the vaccination process and how it works, and we have a herd mentality as far as eventually that's going to lead to hopefully everybody is immunized somehow. COVID is going to, as far as distance, as far as workplace, we may maintain probably 50% of what we have now. And eventually we're going to go back, of course, to the physical place, whether education or work. Sure. We're going to go back, but the model that is working now is going to continue. We're going to maintain some of those remote locations. It's going to be definitely combined. Sure. Some of the locations that we rented or we occupied for physical locations for employment or education may be minimized and be used for something different, hopefully other community involvements and probably activities, but definitely the combined effort of what we have now, which proved to be working, sure, and the old traditions. Sure. It's definitely both, a combination of both.